So for those who know what a chasm is, so this is a gap. Today I will be speaking to you guys about the challenges that our industry need to face for moving from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. And I think the presentation right before was excellent, so we're going to follow on these lines. So I'm going to be a bit looking at the disruption between our markets. So another word for this speech is the clash of the titans. So the GAFA is Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple. And I just came up with the name Biba. It wasn't great though. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, and Cardano. Still top 5 these days. So yeah, there is definitely a clash between those industries, and I see two groups working against each other, and I just think it's wrong, so here is what I would like to focus on today. So a few words about myself. I'm the CEO of Yellow. I just watched an episode of The Office last night, so I figure I'm also the world greatest boss. French-American, live and love Ukraine, Web 1.0 entrepreneur, cloud DevOps architect for European banks, and passionate about peer-to-peer networks. So Yellow is a blockchain accelerator. It's all over the world. It's about 100 plus employees. We have a network of brokers. We are a market maker, and this is a Web 3.0 company. All right. Okay, so this is a small illustration of crossing the chasm, and I would like to take all of your attention onto this problem and suggesting a way forward. So we all been through there, the Web 1.0, the Web 2.0, and here I'm drawing the chasm, and this is where we are right now. We are the little gopher trying to figure out how we're going to go from this point to the Web 3.0. So the Web 3.0, I'm definitely referring to Ethereum smart contract, but these are practically unusable for mainstream industry, and they are not reality yet. So let's go a bit through the history of internet. So the internet started through ISP connecting us together. This is my first modem, almost. Over there on the picture, you're going to see what the servers we were running and visiting websites were running on. So that's our cloud infrastructure. ICQ, Netscape, great projects, great companies. We love them. So we had the bubble of the .com and then the crash of the .com. But this period is about reaching people, users, and bring them online. And that was the first era of internet. And this is still today our foundation. Like, we are using pretty much the same network, the same IP system, and we are building upon this. So came Web 2.0. So this is the web we live in, and I would say one of the significant event was the broadband internet. Of course, the apparition of the GAFA, so mainly Facebook, really changed everything out there, and YouTube, I should say. We moved from these servers into professional data centers and elastic cloud computing. I can really tell that it was a challenge for the industry to explain people that cloud infrastructure was going to be the future of internet. And now this cloud infrastructure did scale the internet to billions of users, and we have billions of websites, let's say millions. So when Google acquired YouTube, he said this is the next step in the evolution of the internet. And I think this is where we are. We are again at the next step of the evolution of the internet. We're getting closer to this event. The Web 3.0 is right at the doorstep. So what did the Web 2.0 achieve? It did achieve web scaling. We came from a little community of internet users to a mass market. So NASDAQ top 100 companies, being a total of $15 trillion, is definitely a good representation of this mass market. This is a giant economy and lots of consumers using it. So here we are. So crypto has done some achievement. Bitcoin is not really a new technology anymore. We've done 10,000 other cryptocurrencies. Maybe this is an achievement. I think having Coinbase being a $80 billion NASDAQ listed company is also an achievement. And we see 2.5 trillion on the coin market cap. So this is the beginning of something. We can definitely notice it. Though we're facing major cross-chain issue, plenty of us are working on these issues. It feels when you use the blockchain every day that this is a pain point of our infrastructure. So the infrastructure is chaotic at this stage. You're going to be on Polymatic, you're going to be on side chains, Binance chains, whatever. So there is no major mass adoptions, and there is no global consensus of how we're going to use crypto or blockchain for the mass market. So we're not there yet. We're not there yet on the Web 3.0, but don't we wish all to be? Don't we wish all to have this mass market adoption? You know, this is why we are doing those conferences. So I've been giving a lot of thoughts. I've been working on some research these days, and so here I'm suggesting a way forward. So the way I see it is that first, we need to keep going, building the infrastructure. These things have been started. There is multiple networks and layers of architecture in place, but this is still ongoing. We see the progress of Solana and all of these upcoming improvement to the network, so we are building the infrastructure still today. Once that is done, we have to integrate with the existing layers. So this infrastructure needs to merge with the existing infrastructure of internet. And it's not going to be another internet. So that's really the point here. And finally, we need to grow hundreds, thousands of companies helping legacy applications to move to Web 3.0. So we need to define and help making the migration path from 2 to version 3. So this would get a bit more technical, but some of you might have heard state channels. This is the core of the research that I've been doing, and I do think they are truly remarkable, and they are underrated today. So people don't really use them, and this is mostly something we do with a bunch of researchers from Consensus, but there haven't been any significant spotlight on this, and this is what I would like to do today, is show you what state channels are capable of. So, state channel, more simple, is a cryptographic system for running transaction on top of the blockchain without having to pay for the cost or without having the downside of the blockchain. So it's a yet another layer on top of the blockchain, and this truly horizontally scales. So horizontally scales means you're adding more servers, it's going to take more traffic. So this can scale to the size of the internet, to the scales of Google data centers and their large code base. I was reading recently about monorepo of Google. Those guys have 2 billion lines of code in their repository for their 10,000 plus employees. And they're not going to rewrite it in Solidity. That's a sure thing. This is crypto as well. So this is mainly using RSA or ECDCA signatures. Works great with cold storage as well. This is blockchain agnostic, and this is multi-chain capable. Because this sits on top of multiple blockchains, it does not have an opinion, and it's just a protocol And as long as you respect the same protocol, you can pretty much initialize a channel from any blockchain. So I think the property of being blockchain agnostic and multi-chain capable is a great buffer to delimitate the layer for the next application. So I'll get there on the next point. So I believe state channel is a great way to connect the internet of value to the current internet. And I would say the current value of the internet is based on the amount of traffic. We are the value, the user, the amount of people online. There's going to be a growth in the Web 3.0, and this growth is not necessarily going to be amount of connected users online, but it's going to be more value online, and that's going to be very significant. So value is going to move from real world to this virtual world. So I like to use the word Internet of Value or Internet of Finance. The state channel, exactly like the GAFA, so all of these websites, you're trusting YouTube and Google for filtering the content for your children. So you can think that Facebook and YouTube is a safe place. I think they're doing an okay job here. And on top of this, we have this little infrastructure that we use every day that is called SSL and domain names. So brands are very useful for making internet a safe place. And I don't think we should go against that. And I think today DeFi is a bit of going the other way. And I think we need to reconnect here. So state channel does require a level of trust, and that is very important, and I do not think it's a problem. All right, so many of you have heard the blockchain layer ones, which would be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Cardano, and we often call them layer one, but that would be the case if we are actually rebuilding another internet on the side on top of this layer one. And so I think we should stop using this term, and I think we should forget about saying this is layer one, because now we need to think of this layer within the internet layers. So on the left side, I made you a simplified representation of the ISO network layers. Physical layers, network layers, these are the data centers, the cable, the internet provider, every one of you are using. Transport layers, protocol layers, pretty much HTTP bringing you to Amazon.com. And finally, the application, well, the application is TikTok, Amazon.com, Facebook, the place you trust, the place you're consuming online. Those applications are not going anywhere because they are billion-dollar businesses. So we have to deal with them. And I do not really think that blockchain is going to come up with an alternative to Airbnb that's going to take over Airbnb and changes everything. I think Airbnb is a service company and they're doing a good job. So they have to move toward the blockchain. So then we have this less clear layers for the blockchain, having the blockchain layer, the sidechain layer because of the scaling issues, smart contract layer, nicest one, the Web 3.0, and here I'm adding the state channel. I don't think anybody is layering the state channel on top of this, but I think this is where it should be, because these state channels are protocol layer and they stand right before the application. So to give you an example, if you want to be doing an online casino, this is where you should connect. Your 888.com is going to be the application, and the state channel is going to have a poker protocol that makes the rules of the game between the poker player. And this is scalable and extremely cheap to maintain on the blockchain. You don't need a transaction for every turn of the game. All right, so here is the answer. I think there is an industry problem. There is the chasm between Web 2.0 and Web 3.0. Bitcoin has been around for more than 10 years, and well, I'm getting impatient and eager to be on the next stage, this Web 3.0, but things are not moving really fast here. And I do believe that state channel is a solution to bridge us toward the Web 3.0. I don't think I'm alone. I'm working with Consensus and have been purchasing a lot of companies doing research and development on state channel. Those things are a bit difficult to comprehend and understand because it's not only about micropayment, these are protocols. And so yeah, I gave you some key takeaways. State channel is actually a very easy way to move web application to the blockchain without necessarily rewriting your web application into a distributed application. You don't need to understand Solidity or all of these things. You keep your protocol and you're fine. So we can move billions of dollars of legacy assets to the blockchain and get the benefit of micropayment and this trusted environment. The Internet of Trust. Well, I don't think we should oppose the Web 2.0 trust with the trustless environment that is blockchain. I don't think it's incompatible. And I do think that if you want to bring Google or Amazon on the blockchain, it's not about accepting Bitcoin. It's about giving them a business model on this new web. And I think state channel requires trust, and so they value their brands, and they have a reason to be there. And so, last point is that you get all of the benefit of the blockchain without the downside. And today, scaling the blockchain is going to take a very long time, and I think we should get started with migrating the web to Web 3.0, and there is an interesting solution here. So, that's it. So if you guys have any question, let me know.